morning. Welcome to Coffee with the Pirate. This morning I've got Shipwreck Kevin with us. So good morning to you. And we're going to discuss Kevin's shipwreck that he wrecked his boat or sunk his boat here a few days ago. So Kevin, what the hell happened?
I didn't lose it, I lost it.
Okay.
And it was pretty scary. And both one side of the pontoons filled with water. And I went to open the cover to inspect it, and a giant wave came and just flooded it.
Right. Now we're talking about a picnic table vessel.
Yeah.
Okay. So this isn't a regular vessel. This is a picnic table vessel that we've showed you in some of the pictures before this.
With solar panels, all electric, and had 4 batteries on it, all kinds of lights, electric motors. It's gone.
This is an electric-powered picnic table that you decided to take out in the open sea to go to Puerto Rico in.
Yeah.
Outstanding. Now that's courage. Talk about pirates. I tell you, I run into people that are more courage than me. This is guts, man. So
Yeah, it was a little crazy, but I essentially made it. I made it over 20 miles across the open ocean.
okay.
It just came up about a mile short.
So you made it to Calabrita, where I was just the day before.
Right.
And you thought I was over there. Did that influence you going over? Were you thinking
Well,
the pirates over there? And
yeah, I was hoping to run into you over there, and I was kind of watching the weather a little bit too. So Monday didn't really look so good, so I waited till Tuesday, and I made it. I made it. Just not luck.
Right.
Minus the boat.
Right.
But
right.
it did go all the way across the ocean.
Right. And if you had the bilge bumps or even another guy, you would have made it all the way.
Oh,
with
easily.
no problems.
Easily.
So the idea now is to
Build a better boat.
build a better one and do it again.
Do it again, for sure.
Hell yeah, and succeed this time.
For sure. Yeah, I'm not stopping.
Right, and that's the deal. I mean,
Just because you almost die doing something doesn't mean you stop doing
Right,
it. It means
right.
you just got to get better at it.
Right, it's one of my theories that adventures are best at near death. And so Kevin, your boat's upside down. Well, let's talk about how it got upside down. I mean, you were tied to this boat and it got pinned underneath it, right?
Yeah, so because of the waves, it was kind of a little sketchy out there. So I tied a line off to myself from the post of the boat in case I slipped off the boat.
Right, no life jacket on, you just tied a line to the boat.
Right.
Okay.
So that was a good idea and also a bad idea. It was a good idea, and so in the sense that I wouldn't watch my boat sail away from me. But when the boat went upside down, I was still tied to this boat. So as the boat flipped upside down like this, it pulled me into the water. So now I'm drowning, getting pulled down with the boat.
Yeah, you're underneath this. The solar panels, everything are underneath you. The pontoons are up, and you're tied to the boat
I'm tied underneath the boat, trying to figure out the stupid knot that I tied around my waist as I'm getting pulled down under the water and trying to get this knot off.
Uh-huh.
And I succeeded, obviously, because I'm here. But that was pretty scary.
Okay, so you're pinned under the boat for a little while.
Yeah,
and
getting pulled down, and everything's just water's coming up. Stuff started floating all over the place, and I made it. Obviously, I got out and I got back to the surface, and I realized this is a bad situation.
Right.
So.
Okay, so you make it out of the rope, and you're on top of this pontoon. You're sitting on the bottom of the picnic table in 2-3 feet of water with the pontoons next to you. Now what?
So now I'm thinking, man, I need help. I need help. So I remembered I had a VHF radio, which was in a dry bag, which is now a wet bag. But that's like 6 feet under the water, under the table.
Okay.
So I dive back down under the table, and I find the post that had the bag on it, and it's all tied. You know, I tied it pretty well around the post, so I couldn't. So the first time I went down, I found the bag and realized I couldn't get it off right then. So I went back up and took another breath and dove down and basically just grabbed the bag and ripped it right off the post. You know, I didn't care about the strap at this time. So I get the dry bag and I go back up, and I'm sitting up on top of the boat again, and I open it up and it's still working. And I'm like,
Now it's wet?
oh, it's been submerged.
Okay, so the dry bag failed.
Dry bag failed. The VHF radio was waterproof.
Water, okay.
Waterproof. And it was underwater for 5 minutes. And I take that radio out and I'm like, oh my God, it still works. So that's when I went on Channel 16 and did a Mayday, 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 SOS.
Or actually you did SOS, you forgot about Mayday.
Did SOS, SOS, SOS. And the Coast Guard answered, and I had to explain, you know, what's your emergency? And my boat's capsized, I'm upside down, I'm out in the ocean, and it's scary. And somebody come get me.
Right. Okay, so you finally get talking to the Coast Guard with this radio that shouldn't have been working, but as advertised, it was waterproof. West Marine radio?
Yeah.
And so what happens next? Who did you call, and how'd you get rescued?
So after I called the Coast Guard, they asked me to count from 1 to 10 and then backwards from 10 to 1 so that they could triangulate my position. So I did, counted 10 and backwards, and they came back and said, that was really good. We've got a really good location and where you're at in the ocean. And then they called out to all other boats in the area that could assist. And this one boat, crazy enough, called One Life, heard the message.
The name of the boat was One Life.
One Life. And
Okay.
It was a 50-foot Leopard power catamaran.
Okay.
And they were in Culabrita and heard this over the radio.
Okay.
So they start to come out of Culabrita, and I see them, but they can't see me.
Right.
So the Coast Guard's repeating the last known coordinates of where I am, and I when I saw this boat, I was like, I got on the radio and said, hey, is One Life, are you a white catamaran? And they go, yeah, we're a white catamaran with a fly bridge. And I said, I see you. And they go, okay. Where are you? Should we go to port or to starboard? And I'm like, I said, turn to port. So I can see the boat turning. They still can't see me.
Yeah.
And I just kept saying, all right, you're aiming towards me. You know, just keep going.
Right.
So it was about 1.5 miles offshore.
Okay.
And eventually, you know, and the Coast Guard kept coming back asking, you know, hey, how are you doing? You all right? You know,
And what's funny, I was just there,
yeah.
like less than 24 hours before this. In fact, I did coffee in the morning last Sunday morning from that tower, and he is right out. In fact, if you look at that video from last week, you'll see the area that he was in, just past the Calabrita fight there.
Yeah. So One Life shows up, throw a life ring in the water, and I jumped off the boat and swam over and got on the back of this catamaran, and I was in shock, really.
Right.
I mean, I'm just laying on the back of this deck of this boat, just breathing kind of under
You're just
control.
barely out of shock. I've pretty much been with you since you got back to Water Island, and you were just wiped out, in shock.
Yeah, it was.
And you're just coming out of it now.
A little bit, and so after I got on the boat, One Life, about 10 minutes later, the Coast Guard showed up, and it's kind of weird. So I had to transfer from this catamaran over to the Coast Guard boat, And when I got on the Coast Guard boat, the first thing they said is, "Kevin, are you all right?"
Well, they know you.
They all know me.
Yeah.
So
They're your buddies over
they're
there
my
at
buddies.
Dinghies.
Yeah. So the Coast Guard guys, they
What the
said,
hell are you doing, Kevin?
when they said when they saw the Electric Cat sticker, and they went, "Oh no, it's Kevin." So yeah, so I got on the Coast Guard boat, and they said, "Well, I guess you need a ride back to Water Island." So yeah, a little bit. So they strapped me down and put a life jacket on me, and sat in one of these super nice Coast Guard air cushion seats, and we went right back to Water Island, and they dropped me off at the dinghy dock.
Right, okay, and that's, well, I didn't get you then. Okay, so now you're back at Dinghies, which
Yeah.
is our home stomping grounds right now.
Right.
And now what do you do?
So we called a friend that had a Catamaran powerboat, and
Okay.
we needed to go find it.
Right, so you're gonna go look for it. You're still in shock, but you got these buddies.
After we got on the Coast Guard boat, we went up right alongside of it, and they marked it with a GPS, and then we sat there for about a minute, and they calculated the drift of it.
Okay.
They said, if you come back in 1 hour, your boat will be around here. If you come back in 2 hours, your boat will be way down here.
Okay,
So it was about 2.5 hours that from the time it flipped to the time I got back there looking
Right.
for it, and it was gone.
Right.
There was nothing.
but with the weight of the batteries and it taking on water like that and the solar panels, it probably
It
probably
filled
sunk.
up and sank.
Right.
I mean, but there wasn't anything. There wasn't like a Snapple bottle.
Right. Well, you know, I actually lost my little dinghy one time in Roatan, and it drifted a mile behind me, and I couldn't see it until I got like 200 yards from it.
Yeah.
And I just backtracked my course and estimated the drift, and there it was, but I didn't see it for anything
Yeah.
until I got within 200 yards of it.
So we went back over there and scanned, drove around looking for it, and saw a couple other boats out there. Asked if they had seen any debris. It's gone.
Yeah, it's a big ocean, and if you fall off
It's
your
a
boat,
really big ocean.
there ain't, no one's gonna find it.
It was scary. It was definitely scary. And so after we looked for it, it wasn't there. We went into Culebra and went and had a pizza and a couple of Medallia beers,
Cool.
and hung out for about an hour, and then got back on the boat with nothing.
Right.
And went back to Water Island.
Right, and
For the
that's where I saw you.
Yeah. So I went to
first time.
Went to Culebra twice in one day.
Right. Cool.
So,
Well, Kevin, join the club of being shipwrecked.
yeah.
You, me, and Captain Ron.
There you go, buddy.
Have a good morning. We'll see you next Sunday. Bye.
Revving up your engine, listen to her howl and roll. Metal under tension, begging you to touch and go. Highway to the danger zone. Riding through the danger zone. Heading into twilight, spreading out her wings tonight. She got you jumping off the deck, shoving in the